Welcome to Telecom OPEX Reductions and Optimization session. In an environment of rising energy cost and increasing network complexity and margin pressures, operational expenditure control is no longer optional. It is a strategic imperative. This PPT presents a practical execution focused playbook to reduce telecom OPEX across owner and partner sites. We need to reduce and we need to focus on both own sites as well as the sites which has been taken by the telecommunication infrastructure organizations. We will explore how energy optimizations, diesel generator automations, lithium-ion battery adoptions, solar hybridizations, vendor renegotiation, AI-driven electricity monitoring, and network automation can work together to deliver measurable, auditable savings. Rather than theory, this discussion focuses on what actually work on the ground with governance, KPI finance, validations, and a 12 to 24 month phase roadmaps that protect service quality while improving profitability. So let me upload the slides. And these PPTs is not only important for the MNOs, mobile network operators, but this is also important for all the telecom infrastructure organizations because their major focus is always on to reduce the cost. Why telecom OPEX needs a new approach? Telecom OPEX is driven by electricity, diesel, batteries, lease lines, and infrastructure partners. Traditional cost cutting often fails because it treats this in isolations. The approach discussed here consolidates technology, process, vendor, and governance levers, ensuring savings are sustainable, measurable, OPEX reductions, and optimizations plan. Moving ahead, the contents of these PPTs is as under. The core OPEX reduction levers. OPEX reduction start with site level control. Electricity optimizations using smart meters and artificial intelligence. Battery modernizations with lithium ion because that is separate, and other benefits which we will discuss in the coming slides. Diesel generator automations replacement or removal, very important, so that we can stop the pilferage or minimize the pilferage on diesels. Solar plus storage hybrid systems, vendor and lease renegotiations, centralized billing and governance. These levers works best when executed together, not independently. OPEX reduction optimizations plan, site energy audit and baseline establishment. The first step is visibility. Site level energy audits and load profiling identification is important. Two, for inefficient loads, peak demand drivers and high consumption sites. A measurable baseline is established using smart meters and EB kilowatt monitoring, ensuring that every future saving is verifiable and auditable. For that, we need to prioritize high impact sites. Not all sites are equal. Focus is placed on predictable cost drivers, high electricity or diesel spends. Site with strong solar or battery feasibility. This ensures maximum OPEX impact with limited CAPEX. Next is electricity consumption optimizations. Electricity OPEX is reduced through LED and efficient air conditioning upgrades, smart controls, and schedule load reductions, lithium and battery swaps, AI-driven kilowatt monitoring, and the objective is peak saving, load shifting, and loss reduction, not service compromise. So we are discussing optimizations, not reductions or minimizations. Next is battery bank replacement, lithium ion versus lead acids. what is the comparison? Which one is more efficient in energy generations? Lithium-ion batteries offer high capex upfront, longer life cycle, lower maintenance, better round trip efficiency. Over time, they reduce total cost of ownerships, especially when paired with solar or DG optimizations. Energy efficiency alone can save 45 kilowatt per site per month compared to lead acid systems. If we do the complete comparison in granularity and in practical, we will come to know the advantage and the real comparison between the two batteries, which we are discussing here. Diesel generator strategy: reduce, replace, remove, or hybridize. DG OPEX is tackled through automations and load management, efficient gensets, partial or full DG removal, solar or solar plus battery hybridizations. The decision depends on grid reliability, load profile, and battery capability. OPEX reduction optimizations plan. So all these factors are very much important, and whenever we do the optimizations, all these factors needs to be done in combinations. None of the factors needs to be done in isolation. Otherwise, we are not going to gain any practical benefit. That will just be becomes an MIS. DG automation and monitoring tools. Some of the automation monitoring tools are already available in the ground, and those tools needs to be deployed at our DG sites. The automation uses will be smart fuel level sensors, DG controller modules, and remote telemetry and IoT gateways. These tools cut diesel theft, excess runtime, and manual interventions, delivering fast OPEX beans. Moving toward the next slide, the solarizations of sites and hybrid power. The buzzword which is being discussed at each and every platforms: green energy. Solarization and hybrid power systems. Solar plus lithium battery hybrid reduces diesel dependency, grid volatility, energy cost predictability risk. With average usable energy of 108 kilowatt per month, solar becomes a strategic OPEX hedge, not just a green initiative. So both the purpose are solved. First of all, the organization needs to contribute toward the ESG requirement of the new company norms, and similarly, this is also helping you out in reducing the energy cost. And energy cost is one of the most or the major cost in telecommunication organizations, either in telecommunications organizations or in the infra organizations. Moving towards the partner cost reductions, infrastructure partner and vendor cost optimizations. Apart from the initiative which we are taking on the own sites, we also needs to discuss the rates, which also needs to re-verify the rates. We also need to re-verify the efficiency SLA parameters which we had given to the infrastructure partners. Real saving require commercial discipline, contract rebasing to market rates, performance linked pricing, unified SLAs, and shared maintenance models, centralized electricity billing reconciliations, and vendor incentives are aligned to measurable cost reduction, not just uptimes. So we also need to pitch in with vendor incentives so that vendor work out as per the objectives fixed by the organizations. Lease line and circuit optimizations. Costs are reduced by consolidating circuits, right sizing bandwidth, using virtual circuits where feasible, and negotiating multi-year volume discounts. Performance is protected by traffic analysis and SLA tiering. So, since most of the sites are already fiberized, so maintenance of fiber is also a huge and relevant cost in the bottom line. So we need to check each and every avenues. So shifting from energy cost, we also need to check each and every avenues to minimize, optimize the lease line as well as circuit cost. The managed vendor cost optimizations. The advanced levers in this particular parameter will be performance-based contracting, outcome-based pricing, and periodic vendor audits. Demand forecasting to avoid over-provisioning. This shift vendors from cost center to efficiency partners. So make those vendors feel as if they are the partners to the organization, if as if they are the core contributor to the organizations. We need to do regular sitting with them to discuss each and every requirement, re-verify each and every contract, and educate them the objectives and the requirement of the organizations, which is very much important. Next is network automations for OPEX reductions. Automation focus on energy aware RAN tuning, cell sleep modes, dynamic capacity scaling, automated fault resolutions. Pilot are run on non-critical corridors before scale up, ensuring service integrity. So whenever you are testing a new parameter, whenever you are testing a new scenarios, try to go off with pilot, choosing some of the desired sites from where you can get benefit. And if you get success, please scale on it gradually so that we take the sufficient benefit as per the plan which we have made. AI for EB kilowatt monitoring. So there are various multiple artificial intelligence tools which can be used to monitor the EB kilowatt. AI enables anomaly detections, load forecasting, automated set points, adjustments, prescriptive load shifting. The result is lower reactive spend and better prioritizations of inventories. So once you are having the complete data, the proper actions can be easily taken. And that needs to be done on a gradual basis, on a regular basis. Then only you can gain advantage from that. Network rest during low tariff hours. This is again a very important parameters. And the finance team needs to sit with the network team to drill down this parameter to understand it in granularity and further implement at the ground. During predictable low tariff windows, non-critical equipment enters low power mode and coverage and compliance are validated. Rollback criteria are defined and the delivery energy savings without customers impact. So all these parameters, whatever we are discussing here and whatever and the key parameters which we will implement at ground level, we need to ensure that the service quality is not impacted, resulting in there is no quality of services impacted even at the end user point. Means the customer is our bread and butter and their services does not get impacted because of this implementations. So we need to be careful in implementing all these parameters at the ground. Electricity load kilowatt automation and centralized billing. This is also one of the important parameters. Most of the discoms are already adopting at current stage. However, there are certain discoms whose ERP is not yet integrated at ground level and hence the centralized billing is not possible for them. But however, if you pitch in, sit with them, do regular meetings, educate them, most of the discoms get ready to get this implemented because it's not only giving benefit to your organization but there since many or most of the since most of the enterprises are connected with those discoms and they are having multiple connections, so this is going to give benefit to all the enterprise who are connected with the discoms. A centralized electricity billing systems consolidate invoices, automates reconciliations, improves governance, reduce penalties and disputes, and finance gains real-time visibility and auditability, rate negotiation with network partners. So we need to discuss with the sit with the network partners, check the complete SLA, service level agreements, as well as MSS, master service agreement. We need to drill down, we need to go through each and every line items, and also do the impairment at current scenarios, the current market rates, whether those rates are correct, or is there any further possibility to drill down. The vice versa is also possible. Maybe there would be certain parameters where we need to increase the rates. But however, if in overall we get the benefit to decrease the rates, we need to check each and every parameters thoroughly to renegotiate it. Macro and micro BTS optimizations. So we need to check the site level macro levers as well as site level micro levers. Network level strategies, partners and vendor optimizations, finance and risk control, testing and validations. So each and every categories of BTS needs to be segregated before we implement any of the above parameters. That will help you give more benefit. You need to target those BTS first where the cost is high, and then move gradually to plan B, plan C, plan D, and plan E. Similarly, the macro, since the maximum energy cost is vested in macro BTS needs to be targeted first. Measurement and KPI for OPEX reductions. The key measurement for and KPIs for OPEX reductions will include energy spent per site, diesel consumption, uptime impact, billing accuracy, vendor cost per site, and verified saving versus baseline. All these parameters need to be discussed with the end users who are monitoring these parameters, because it is they who needs to be educated so that they will take actions at the ground. In fact, they will come out with many other avenues where the improvement is required. And if to improve those parameters, if we require to invest one time amount, we should be ready to invest those amounts so that we get a recurring benefit because of those investments. Governance and program structure. A centralized program office ensures cross-function ownership, CFO-grade dashboards, risk tracking, phased approvals. Governance converts initiatives into realized P&L impact. So having a dashboard, having complete KPI data ready with us is important, but discussing that those dashboards, discussing those complete KPIs, complete data with the entire cross-functional teams. Cross-functional teams means the end users who are responsible to drive those parameters is more important, so that the complete package gets implemented and objective of the organization is fulfilled. So implementation of all this data, having the knowledge of all this data is also important. Implementing these data at ground level so that the recurring benefit gets in future, that is also more important. Total cost of ownership for network power options. So these are some of the scenarios which has already been built. We can go through it. Risk management and regulatory considerations. Risk includes service degradations, regulatory violations, battery disposal compliance, and supplier concentration. Mitigation is achieved through pilot, audit, rollback plans, and legal validations. So, whenever you go with the cost optimization plan, whenever you go with the cost reduction plans, there will be several reluctance. But we need to convince each and every department why this is required, and also we need to discuss with them the risk associated if we disturb the line items of this particular cost minimization as well as reduction item. But however, we also be ready with the solutions so that the service degradation regulatory violations are mitigated immediately and it does not require longer period of time. Saving realizations and auditability. Change roadmap 12 to 24 month phasing. So since it is a time consuming activity. But however, if we plan it properly, quarter on quarter, month on month basis, obviously there will be a positive result. So initially in the first quarter, we need to check out the complete audits and pilots, and similarly for the next 2-3 quarter, we need to increase the volume, scale quick wins and centralize billings. And in the coming next year, we need to think about deploying or expanding the capex on solar, lithium, DG removal, and partner optimizations. Each phase has ROI gates and KPI validations. So this was the complete deck on cost optimizations of network OPEX in any MNO, MVNOs, or infrastructure organizations. So telecom OPEX reduction succeed when technology, finance, operations, and vendors move together. This playbook delivers sustainable savings, protected quality on service, and auditable financial impact, turning cost control into a competitive advantage. Thank you.